Britain became famous for tea, but Britain could not grow a single tea leaf. So, how did a plant native to China become Britain's national drink? The answer changed the life of millions of people across Asia. It is a story of empire, scientific discovery, global trade, and colonial labor that transformed one plant into one of history's greatest global commodities. As a tea historian, George Van Rhymes writes, the history of tea is a saga of globalization. Few commodities tell the story better. For centuries, China was the world's largest tea producer. Tea was not simply a drink, it was a product of generations of specialized knowledge and craftsmanship. British tea inspector Samuel Ball, who spent over 20 years studying tea in China, published one of the first detailed English account of Chinese tea production in 1848. Drawing on his first-hand observations, Ball showed that Chinese tea industry relied on highly skilled cultivation and manufacturing techniques refined over and over centuries. By 18th century, Britain had addicted to tea. But Britain faced one problem. Almost every single leaf still come from China. Britain no longer wanted to buy tea, it wanted to control it. In 1848, the East India Company sent Scottish botanist Robert Fortune to China on one of the history's most remarkable botanical expeditions. In his own words, Fortune explained that he had been sent for the purpose of obtaining the finest varieties of tea plant as well as native manufactured and implants for the government tea production in the Himalayas. Fortune was not simply collecting plants, he was transferring an entire industry. Tea seeds, manufacturing techniques, scientific knowledge, skilled tea makers, everything Britain needs to reproduce China's tea industry in colonial India. Historian Andrew Liu argues that India's tea history was created through Britain's colonial involvement in Queen's China and British India. Tea became a global commodity because empire connected people, knowledge, labor, and capital across Asia, linking Queen's China and British India into a single imperial economy. Moving tea production to India solved Britain's supply problem, but it created another. Who would harvest millions of tea leaves? Britain believed it found the solution. In 1839, tea pioneer Charles Alexander Bruce described Assam as the future of Britain's tea industry. But building that industry required something Britain not simply import from China, a massive labor force. Historian Jayita Sharma explains that the Assam's tea industry became a colonial enterprise built largely on migrant workers, recruited under indentured contracts. Behind every chest of tea stood thousands of laborers. Historian Urvi Khatin reminds us that behind the nice cup of tea lies a story of exploitation of over 500,000 underpaid, underfed women and children. Tea generated enormous wealth, but plantation workers saw very little of it. Most of the profit flowed to British companies that controlled processing, shipping, and international trade. Today, tea is one of the world's most familiar drink. Yet, every cup carries a global history. It begins in the tea garden of China. It spread through British imperial expansion. It transformed by scientific knowledge transferred across Asia, and it depend on the labor of countless colonial workers in India. Tea journey remind us that global commodities are never simply products. They shaped by empire, by trade, by labor, and by power. So the next time You drink a cup of tea. Remember, you are not just drinking a tea, you're drinking history.